everyone, and welcome back to The Reality Is. And we're back in the Villar.
We're in the Villar.
We're back in the Villar, and a hot new bombshell has entered. She's already talking. It's Amanda Huntenkiss. I already told you guys she was going to be on this week, and I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you're here because, as you can tell, I don't know what's happening in my throat.
I mean, I'm, excuse me, I come in all froggy. I'm like, I'm worried about you. But be careful with your voice because, first of all, your voice is your gift. It's how you make your podcasts.
That's true.
But also, I have had 2 vocal cord surgeries. So if you get actually concerned about what's going on, let me know and we can chat offline. Also, any reality isers. If you have vocal cord issues, let me know. It was like a huge trauma for me in my life. So I always am like, your voice, protect it. Let me know if you have questions.
Oh my God, thank you. You never, without that like trend going on, like the butterfly effect is crazy. Because what do you mean if I didn't start this podcast, somebody else, like one of my listeners, couldn't have gotten assistance on their vocal cords?
And now they're going to be a Broadway singer.
Move over, Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah.
Okay. So much to discuss. This week was a tumultuous week in the Villar and the Casa. Was it not?
I'm shocked. I miss my friends Hannah and others. Really just Hannah.
Feels so long ago.
It feels so long ago. Like also, did Casa seem short? Is it usually only 3 days? Because it seemed really short.
It's weird. Like the whole season feels really strange to me. Like we've also not gotten, besides one true recoupling, we had one recoupling where the boys were like, I'm gonna I'm choosing to couple up with this girl, because we have not gotten I'm choosing to couple up with this boy from the girls yet.
The women have been on their back foot every single step of this show, and it's so irritating to me. Like last night when they were like, okay, and as you know, there's no more people, and everyone's like sobbing over Nick being gone, and it's like, okay, well, so now the girls are already in a weird spot. Like they're already at a disadvantage, like emotionally, because the guys know something.
I don't like the fact that there seems to be a lot of leg ups given to the men this season. It feels to me.
I agree. Did Alex Baskins get in the editing bay of of Love Island? Get out of here, Alex.
He's like, let me introduce you guys to Jax Taylor.
Oh my God, he's the new host of the show. Oh,
I need everybody to jump into the ocean from the villa. Okay, get out of there as fast as you can. We're worried about like Nick getting a cold sore, and then God knows what Jax would bring with him.
Oh wow, yeah. What? That cold sore made the briefest of appearances. They let Nick walk around with a zit for like a year and a half on the show. 1 day of cold sore implication, and they were like, get it out of here. They may have replaced Nick with a body double. We don't know.
And then earlier, like I think it was this week, it's hard to tell. The weeks are passing so quick. The entire month of June flew by so quickly because of Love Island.
It's really wrong to have it on Pride Month because it's like people have too many conflicts. Also, how dare Netflix release the cheerleading movie in the middle of or the cheerleading show in the middle of Love Island?
Hulu released, or FX, whatever, released the entire new season of The Bear this week.
Okay, guys, come on. We are in Brooklyn trying to survive in this economy.
Please. We're in the villa trying to survive in this economy. You can't do this to us. Just pause all the other programming we need to dedicate. Now, are you watching Love Island UK?
No. Oh my God. I have a marriage. I can't.
You're like, I got animals to take care of.
Why do they air them at the same time? It's madness. Pure madness.
Also, then Real Housewives of Miami, which is excellent.
So and I'm loving Atlanta, but I can't even emotionally dedicate my time to it.
I can't. And I feel like, it's too much programming. Like it's too much programming to the point where I'm a big reader. I haven't read a book this month.
Please know, I have been trying to get through 2 nonfiction books to get to to get to, like, some real fairies fingering stuff, where I really shine, and these are both books I am enjoying, and
Mhm.
it's probably taken me 2 months,
Yeah.
2 solid months to read through a very normal-sized book.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have time to listen to podcasts. I
Mm-mm.
don't have time for anything. I go to work. I wake up in the morning. I take care of these damn kids, who I love. I shouldn't say damn. They're beloved.
Yeah,
I
look,
wanted
you
them,
love them,
please.
but I'm sorry, they are around all the time. Love Island is only here a short, brief time each year.
And I can't watch Love Island with them in the room and they're home from
No.
school. So they're just like, "Mama, what are you watching?" And I'm like, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
So so I wake up, I get these kids ready for camp, drop them off at camp, go to work. Okay, go to work, come home, try to catch up on Bravo stuff. The world is falling apart. Let's just like table that for a second.
I mean,
Okay.
loosely quote your podcast episode with Raheel, Love Island is the only thing getting me through World War III.
Yes.
But also I am like, are all these reality shows being released at once to distract us from, like, I can see it.
No,
Also, I
I know.
just read Cue the Sun, one of the 2 books that I
Yeah.
have been trying to get through. It's a history of reality television, and
Oh.
they end with The Apprentice and Trump, which, like, also, I was offended at the brevity of the Housewives chapter, but that's whatever. They didn't even mention Scandal. Didn't even
Yep.
mention it.
Huh.
But yeah, they do mention Trump, which I guess is kind of also relevant.
Yeah.
And a RuPaul's Drag Race producer is quoted, like, in the book saying, like, "Is reality TV bad, or did he ruin it? Like, he ruins everything." And I will be using that a lot moving forward whenever I hear people saying nasty things about reality TV. So,
No, I think that's a really good point because I think now it's like, oh, reality TV president. Honestly, there are some people on reality TV that I would much rather have president than the current one. So,
also, Ronald Reagan was an actor.
yeah.
So, does that mean all movies are bad? Just most movies are bad.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Exactly.
I love movies. Please cast me in them.
I mean, every single president has been a man. Does that mean every man is bad?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, actually, we've hit on one. We have. Okay, now we've found the root of it.
Anyway, too much Love Island to catch up on, but this week was an extra crazy one because we got in the beginning of the week, we got Casa Amor. Now, what are your thoughts about these new twists and turns? And we're not even going to talk about the Nick and OLANDRIA situation, but what do you think about these twists and turns of how they've reshifted like Casa, where everybody gets coupled up and there's no longer, you're taking away choice. And I don't like that. Ariana Madix, I know it's not you. It's
I mean,
probably Alex
listen,
Baskin.
I will always blame Alex Baskin when anything is awry on my television.
Yes.
Um, he's given us so much, but most of it is internalized misogyny.
Yes.
But most of it honestly hurts us from the inside. So, I have only seen the Ariana seasons of Love Island. So
Me
this is
too.
my second season.
Mhm.
I feel the sweatiness of the producers in all of these changes and manipulations, because last season was incredible.
Mhm.
Last season was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
I'm okay to not watch lightning in a bottle every time. I'm not one of those people who like tweets like, well, this season is boring, blah, blah. It's like, I
Yeah.
like watching people interact. So
Yeah.
whatever they're doing, I'm interested in what that is.
Yeah.
When you put too many machinations on it, it's like less interesting because I'm watching you panic.
Yes, exactly. These last like and also I feel like American reality TV has this problem because my understanding from my friends who are watching Love Island UK is UK has kept the program exactly the same. They've kept it the same. They're not adding any twists and turns. It's very silly. It's very basic. It is mostly a bunch of gorgeous dummies laying around, having very shallow conversations, occasionally very funny, and then choosing to or to not couple up with each other. It's very straightforward. American reality TV does have this problem. Like, I love watching British Bake Off because it's so easy. It's always the same thing. It's very straightforward. And even if you have a contestant who has like a traumatic backstory, the way they introduce it is always so funny to me. They're like, Jillian likes to garden because she actually is gardening in a cemetery where her entire family is buried. And they'll always say it so casually while they have this like, other footage of like Jillian just walking around tending to her little cemetery, and then cut to Jillian being like, yeah, so I'm making macaroons and they're all cemetery flavored or whatever. And they're like, oh, great job, Jillian. And it's fine. Whereas in America, they'd be like, Jillian. And then it'd be like, bum, 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 bum. And then they'd zoom in on it. There'd be some sad fucking music in the back. I'm like, you need to relax. You're turning into an Indian soap opera reality TV. You need to calm down. We don't need all this extra stuff. And I think that's like, it's American reality TV when they do stuff like this. And I think that, like, I think last season, I wonder if sometimes like the producers think, well, last season was amazing because everybody was excited about Ariana because Ariana is associated with this like Scandival and the twists and turns of that. But it's like, no, also the cast was really good. Also, like Rob got embarrassed and hid under up in the pool. Like,
Yeah. The men were more interesting and dynamic last season.
they were
The women this season, incredible. Love them all.
amazing.
Also Iris. Like, not that I like hate Iris, but I just don't think she's giving what all the other ladies are giving. Uh Also, I am wondering, so I know they've all had work done and that's good for them.
Fine. Yeah.
I want to know if Iris had a lower bluff because I think about it every time I see her on screen, and I just need them to like throw up a chyron or like just have her say it casually to somebody so I can know, because I've thought about getting one forever and I want to know.
No, I think they're young.
I I know they're young, but they have done things to their face.
No, of
These young
course.
people,
I
that
know.
poor Vanna girl,
Oh,
she has done too much. She's
I,
done too much. She went to Beauty Lab and Laser. I
yes.
know it. She's got that Utah filler jaw. And it is,
She got herself the Heather Gay.
yes, she sure did. And she's just not grown into her adult body yet. It's just really.
And then not only that, she does her nose contour in a way where it looks like she's been sniffing shit.
To me, she looks almost claymation the way she does her makeup.
She looks like she should be on Celebrity Deathmatch.
Wow. And I would love, oh God, bring back Celebrity
And
Deathmatch
by the
or
way,
Love Island.
we're not saying this because we're like, she's ugly, get her off her. No, we're saying this because we're concerned for this woman. Okay.
I'm concerned for this generation of
Yes.
very young, beautiful people
Beautiful women. Yeah.
messing with their gorgeous faces. Like, and maybe that sounds like concern trolling, like when men are like, oh, her tits are getting too fat, or whatever. But like,
I've never heard a man say that, by the way.
that's actually from a sketch I wrote with my friends a long time ago. I love to. My main thing about quoting men is I'm really just quoting myself. But it is just. I am just alarmed. I'm alarmed at the procedures for these like young people. But I don't want to dwell on that because like their appearances are all. I'd kill to look like any single one of them. So
Yeah.
it's not. I just always wonder. I always wonder. I know why Andy asks the housewives because I'm like, I want to know too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when someone asks me what I've had done, I love to tell. So never, like, I don't think it's that rude of a question.
I love it. Somebody asked me, why don't you have pores? And I said, prescription tretinoin, Botox, baby. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not even using the fancy skincare I got from France yet. I'm still just using Vanna Cream.
I mean, you kind of can't get better than prescription tretinoin.
You can't. Oh my God. Honestly. And I've only been now on it for like 4 months because before that I was just using like over the counter adapalene.
Mm-hmm.
But those prescription tretinoin, I mean,
it's the good shit.
40's here. So we got to.
And you make it look good. And so does Ariana.
Thanks. Ariana's 39, no?
No, she just turned 40. They did like
She
a
did?
thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Well, her abs. Oh my God.
You know, for people who aspire to a body like that, she is really She's really doing it. She looks so good. It's mind-blowing.
Somebody asked her, "How do you get those abs?" And she said, "I just have them. I don't know how to get rid of them."
That is the best answer ever because we know that that's not true.
Yeah.
We've seen her body this whole time. She's always been beautiful, but, like,
Those are new.
those are new. Those are new. Unless they grew in, which, like, wow, when are my abs gonna grow in?
I know. They're waiting.
Yeah.
It's with the next growth spurt.
It's like your wisdom teeth. You get them way later.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so we had the first half of Casa Amor was like this stupid kissing challenge. We learned that TJ is awful. Over the week we've learned every week that TJ's terrible.
Yeah,
Kendrick.
when did we only know him as terrible. The first minute he walked in, I was like, "Oh, he's kind of handsome." Then he started talking and I was like, "No."
Yeah, he sucks. And Iris called him Leonardo DiCaprio a while ago, and I was like, I need you to calm down, Iris.
He also called himself Justin Timberlake. Do these people not have hot men their own age they can compare themselves to?
Kendrick called him an Aristocat, and I can't not see it. It's so perfect. Everybody wants to be a cat.
It's so good. Oh my god.
It's so
I mean, that's his closest celebrity doppelganger, no question.
yes. We learned in the kissing challenge and throughout that TJ might not like women.
Do you know he's Andrew Tater?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So I think he went on this show to be like, I'm gonna be so mean to all these women just to impress my guys. And it's like, I hope you eventually get the dicking down that you're looking for because, like, you're living for men, man.
Oh my God. This is something that my friends and I have actually actively been talking about all week, which is that when men are so anti-gay, it's just because they're jealous. It's because they wish that they could be with men. And they're actually just upset that those men get to be with men.
Right? And it's like, you can be with a man.
Yeah.
You don't have to be sexually fulfilled in a relationship. Ask my ex-boyfriends. I've never been sexually fulfilled by any of them.
Exactly.
You can just date them. It's fine.
Yeah. You hate women so much. It's because they get to be with men also. So you hate men and you hate gay men and you hate women because all you really want is just to be with your bros.
Yeah.
You just want to get dicked down by your friends.
Like, he can't wait to go back to his frat house and be like, because apparently his whole, listen, I'm listening to a lot of Love Island podcasts. I'm getting information scattershot. I can't cite any of my sources. I don't know where they're coming from or if they're true. But he can't wait to get back to his frat house and be like, I put those girls in their places. And them all be like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let's throw a party.
Yeah, when they were putting that puzzle together during the Meg Thee Stallion challenge and we saw the woman coming together on the boys' side and then the man coming together on the women's side. And I was just like, is that a stock photo of another person? That cannot be the bombshell. Please.
Yeah. He looks like he had his handsomeness pasted on. Like, it's like like, you know, when you get like a new screen and it has that little plastic sheet. That's like TJ has like a thin veneer of handsomeness, and right underneath it is like a writhing mass of hate.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it's great because nobody really fucks with TJ except for Vanna at the end. Vanna pairs up with TJ and he can't wait to get the fuck away from her. Mm-hmm. He can't stand her. We also perplexingly Taylor got two. Now these are this three women now who have thrown themselves, three bad bitches, who have thrown themselves.
Three women who you would stop in the street to look at if you saw them because they are so beautiful. I mean, Olandria literally to me looks like a Disney princess, like in proportion, in face. She's so gorgeous.
Every time the camera cuts to her, like, I will never get over that shot of her on the date with Jalen. R.I.P. Jalen, you should have still been here. Because you would not have done to Olandria what was done to her this week. But that she's getting a massage from Jalen, and when I'm laying down and getting a massage and my face is hanging off the table, it's Jowl City. Yeah, I look ridiculous.
It's a pillow of face.
This is what I look like when I'm getting a massage. Patreon exclusive.
Wow. You gotta tune in.
But this woman looked like a goddamn dream. I was like, she always looks incredible.
Incredible. When she and Shelly were walking with Meg the Stallion and they all had the exact same body, I was like, this is crazy. The waists, the asses, the titties. Everyone is so hot on Love Island.
So hot. And the fact that we're squabbling over Taylor.
Taylor, Mr. Halfway Smile, and like, should I do a yoga class too? No, you should do something creative that you thought of for Alandria because you love her because she's incredible.
I will never get over that.
Interesting.
I will never get over that stupid ass like Alandra making a charcuterie board for him. Alandria, please,
Girl.
not this man. Now, I'm never a fan of, besides the white women that I do love, I'm never a fan of the comment section from white women on Love Island, any reality TV show,
Mhm.
especially like on Facebook, especially on Instagram. And
It's a
especially like
place where we don't need to take up so much space.
yeah, but occasionally, and then especially if I see a white-haired woman in the comments, I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Get out of here. The show is not for you." However, this is now circulating on the internet and it is so funny. Some woman, her handle is Ranger Danger 54. Shout out to you.
Okay, queen.
The picture is an older white woman with a short white short white pixie cut, pearls around the neck. She's a grandmother of at least 7. Okay.
Okay.
This is what she wrote. She said, "You're a wicked and twisted man for how you've treated that young lady. My granddaughter comes over and watches this program from time to time, and I was appalled to see how cowardly you are. Frankly, both these young ladies deserve better, and I don't believe you and I don't believe you can even ride a horse." Ranger Danger.
Ranger Danger. That is the kind of grandmother I aspire to be. Just telling young men, you need to treat her better. You're not shit.
And I don't believe that you can even ride a horse.
I mean, can he? We don't know, and he cannot prove it. Like, I have been. Who knows? Who knows about that? I was about to go off on a rodeo story that is not interesting and not the point of anything. I've never been to the rodeo either, but but like, why is he so lackadaisical about these women? Is part of it that all of them are like the hottest person where they are from, so none of them are used to like effort?
I don't know, because the way women are made up, and obviously we're seeing this, is that even if you are the hottest woman where you exist, as soon as you're in a room with other hotter women, you feel like a troll, like a
Mhm.
gargoyle. And I think that's sort of also happening on the show, where like these women are so incredibly hot, but then they get in like a room of other hot women, and rather than being like truly empowered by like the hotness all around them, they're somehow not. Like, I don't understand. His Taylor is like, initially I was like, "Oh my god, I love him. He's so funny and so goofy and you keep
Yeah,
getting these shots of him." But then once I started to realize like how he's treating Olandria, I was like, "I don't think so, honey." And then even in Casa, the fact that none of the guys really wanted her, like,
that nor I don't understand it. The only thing that okay, so I would say there are very, very, very few men on this show who are like actually sexy. I would put Ace in that category.
yeah,
I would put Nick in that category because Nick has the Glenn Powell thing where he actually like looks at a woman. Like when he kisses women, it's hot because he's
yeah,
taking them in.
yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
are those the only two? I mean, Jaden RIP, Pepe sometimes. I like Zach. Oh God, to know which is the K and which is the C. I like British Zach a
Zach
lot.
Hay. That is
Zach
Zach Hay.
K. Okay, Zach
That is Zach
K.
Hay. Tom Hamlin and I decided that we're gonna say that like Jack Hay. Like,
Yeah, that does
yeah.
help. That really helps remember.
Yeah.
I like them. I think they're kind of hot, but for the most part, you get a bunch of mid men in a room and they all look at each other and are like, "We're amazing."
Oh god. To have the fucking confidence of mediocre men. I mean,
Mhm.
every day a woman can dream.
I will also say I'm tired of
Yeah.
people coming for Ace for his shortness. I'm tired of people coming for Danny for his shortness on the Valley.
Yeah, sure. There's
Listen,
other things you guys can come at him for.
people have bad personalities, bad fashion choices, bad actions. Let's go for all of those. I just think like shortness is like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And
I
I
am
used to be a heightist myself. I'm married to a very tall man, and I realize now how little height matters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I as a 5'3" person, you're very lucky to be around me, anybody, because I think everybody's tall. Somebody texted me. I was very good friends with this guy a long time ago, and we like kind of like were in touch, not really for a long time. A good friend of mine from like college years, and he looks exactly, in my opinion, like Zohran Mamdani. And
Is he single? Put his tell the ladies.
well, he's gay.
Tell the
So anyway,
men.
so I texted him and I said, I know it's been a while, but I just want to tell you that every time I see Zoran, I think about you because you guys are twins, right?
Aw.
And he was like, and then it was the night of the election, or the night of the final primary election, whatever. And so he texted me the next day. He was like, yeah, even my mom thinks so. And I was like, what a time for bearded, smiley, tall, brown men. And he said, is he tall? And I said, I think so. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, I'm not a good person to ask because I'm 5'3". And even my friends that are like 5'5", I'm like, you guys are so tall.
What's it like being really tall?
I have no idea. Like any man, guys, fellas, I am married. But if I wasn't, you'd be very happy to be around me because I think everybody is tall and I don't care. But I will say this about Ace. I will say this about Ace. Okay. Those, when somebody threaded and then I posted it, said, Ace looks like a Labubu. And I couldn't not see it. It is very funny. They said Ace is the size of a Labubu. And because here's the thing, when Ace starts like pumping his chest, like the Ace and Jeremiah feud was unnecessary in my opinion. I was like, I don't know why you're so mad at Jeremiah. Let him ruin his life if he wants to.
Let
I
him
don't
be
care.
boring and like not fully smile when he does things. Who cares?
Who cares? Leave him alone. And then I'm sorry, but the picture of his feet dangling off of a couch, now
It is funny.
as a woman who is short, who thinks everybody is tall, that would give me the ick. I don't want to see your feet dangling.
Put them up. Put them up. Do a little crisscross applesauce up on that.
That's what I do because
Mhm.
I've never, like, even right now when I'm sitting on my podcast chair, I say crisscross applesauce because as a short person, my feet have always dangled, and I actually now physically get uncomfortable if my feet are flat on the ground for too long. I have to sit with my feet up
That
all the
is
time.
adorable.
I have to cross my legs where I need to have one foot tucked under my butt. I can't sit.
Oh my God.
Like,
My heart is full. That's so cute.
am I the size of a Labubu?
You are, you're kind of, this makes me want to get a Labubu. Because also, it's so funny. You always describe yourself as short. When I met you, I was like, we're the same height. Like, you carry yourself tall.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But I'm only 5'3". And so I'm like, Ace, put your feet up, brother.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Pull up those little feet.
Okay, so I did text you the night that Olandria and Nick were banished from the villa. Well, we thought they were getting dumped
Oh
from
my
the villa.
God. It was very stressful.
I texted you and I said, why am I crying? Why am I crying? Why? I was laughing, lolling on that episode when Charlie got dumped and everybody was hysterically crying. I was like, look at these suckers. And then there I was, 10 days, a mere 10 days later, being like, why would they do this to Olandria? Look at the girls.
But we're indoctrinated now. We've been in the villa too long. So, like, Olandria is our family. I've spent more hours with Olandria than I've spent with any of my friends in recent time.
All the entire month of June.
Yes. Yeah, because I haven't been able to. I've been watching Love Island. So, like, they are our family at this point. Like, Love Island is really interesting because, like, the structure of the show isolates the contestants, right? So, like, they're like, poor Huda, she looks so nuts on the show. She's probably never been away from her daughter this long. I bet her mind is like you're not texting people, you're not reading
No.
anything, you're not watching anything, you're just in the show. So, like, I would lose my grip really quickly
I
too.
cannot believe they do not let these people read.
Well, I mean, how much are these
Do
people?
they read?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is that a loss for these particular people? I don't know, but um,
Do you think they get coloring books?
that they should. They should, because that would be actually a great way to get conversations. People are a little distracted while they're coloring, and you're like,
Yeah.
I also think they must have you know what? I thought they must have deep conversations, and they just, like, edited those parts out because, like, that's not really the show. But, like, none of them even know each other's, like, political stances, which
So
to
appar-
me in 2025 is bananas.
so apparently, and Hannah was on Nick Viall's podcast, which I don't
It's
listen
too
to.
bad for her.
Yeah, I don't listen to that, but Zell of Who Asked Zell has been doing the Lord's work. She listens to them and then she recaps them on text.
A
So
true researcher.
she is an unpaid consultant, by the way. Give her some money for that, Nick
Yeah.
Viall. Okay. Anyway, so she said that Hannah mentioned on his podcast that TJ and Austin are very similar in their views about the world, and she kind of like said it around that. So I think like I do think that there are some conversations that happen. I don't think that they put it on the show. And I wouldn't be surprised if you ask Austin and Austin on the show is I'm sure when he was coupled up with fucking Shelly, the goddess Shelly, that he was like, yeah, no, I'm just like, I'm not like into politics, like I just think everybody should be happy.
That's a really good Austin.
It helps that my voice is this way.
Yeah, it does. It does. But you also have to whine, like, a lot more. I'm so tired of being in this love triangle. Austin, honey, you're not doing anything. You haven't done
No.
one single thing for Shelly, and she's so beautiful.
She's another one.
She's
I've
another
never
one. Alandria looks like a Disney princess, and Shelly looks like a Bratz doll complimentary.
Yeah. She looks like an actual little doll.
Yeah.
Like she looks like an actual. She looks like a little Barbie.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin. Now you texted me something about Austin that you have a theory about him.
Okay. He says he's a pool boy in Florida, and I believe that is a code. I believe that's a code. I'm not saying you can't be a pool guy or pool boy. It is interesting to call yourself a pool boy and not like a pool maintenance person, because like you're an adult. Like we have a pool, and that we have a gentleman who works on our pool. I would never call him our pool boy.
Yeah.
He's a man. I believe pool boy in Florida is a code for porn actor.
Which
And
makes sense with all the numbers that he was rolling out in that one
he's
challenge.
he's just like, he's got a lot of moves. He's got a lot of like, I've never once seen him be interested in the pool. So maybe he's on vacation, he doesn't want to deal with it. But like he just he has the dye of the hair, the cut of the jib. There's just something about him that makes me think he is a porn thespian.
Yeah.
And also because so much porn shoots in Florida. I feel like it's a code.
No, I think
So
that you're right. I think you might be onto something. And also Hannah said that he scared her because he's way too horny.
he has a lot of like weird boundaries around sex stuff. And like, if you were used to maybe being on like a different work environment where sexual boundaries are encouraged to be more fluid,
Yeah.
maybe it would make sense to you, and you would just sort of do that. So like, I wonder if at one time Jax Taylor was something of a pool boy in Florida.
In
Like
Florida.
it,
Yeah.
to me, it feels very like early model. But I don't believe Austin is in an early model stage. He seems a little bit older than
Yeah,
everybody
he
else.
does. I feel like he's 36.
Yeah.
But I don't know how old he is.
He probably is 24, but he is giving a 36 energy. I read a little article about Love Island, and once again, cannot cite it. I don't even remember any single details, except that there's a vaping corner that they can go to one
Oh.
at a time if they need to vape.
Wow.
And I would like to know, I'd like to see a pie chart of the contestants and the percentage of time they're each spending in the vaping corner, because I could see Austin really ducking into that vaping corner a lot.
Yes, and I think that his skin shows for it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, being white in Florida, you're putting yourself as being white in California. If you're white and you're in a very sunny state, you got to really be a sunscreen friend.
Yeah, and Austin doesn't seem like he seems like the person who was going to come out of the villa or did try in the villa to be like, "Have you guys heard that you could use like beef tallow instead of sunscreen?"
Oh,
And
I
Lady's
don't use,
like,
guys, I don't use that stuff. It smells funny.
"It's too much chemicals. It
I
doesn't
can't
really
be involved
work."
in a sunscreen triangle.
Stupid. Now he has a cop girlfriend, so his dreams are complete.
She's a cop.
She said she's an investigator of
Oh, so she
crime
is okay. They are a perfect match. They're a perfect
because
match.
she came into the villa and she said, "I've done a background check on all of these people."
And she
And
said,
she's
"There's one
said,
men's rights activist porn star here. He loves men."
and I've got my eyes and my insulin pump set on him.
Star
Okay.
is I'm sorry, Star is two heads. I'm sorry I called him a star. He's a working, you know.
But in her mind, he's a star.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you and your, like I said this before and I'll say it again. All these think pieces about Huda and Jeremiah and how people should act and is Ace and Incel and da 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 and all this stuff. And Austin is still there?
But I mean, like, what? I do understand why there are no think pieces about Austin, because, like,
There's
what
no
is there to
thinking.
think about?
There's no thinking. There's
also,
nothing. There's no think
Ace
to
an
piece.
incel? That's a wild thing. I do not think Ace is an incel.
People think Ace is giving like red pill bro stuff.
God, I hope not. I don't really love Ace on the show, but I really like Ace.
I love all of the content I've seen about Ace off of the show, like all the TikTok stuff that he does. There's a clip of him dancing with a bunch of Pakistani men or teaching them how to dance. And I think that that is hilarious.
Like, that stuff, I like how, oh God, can you really dance and be be red pilled? Like, can you really like dance and like feel music in a joyful way and be red pilled?
I don't know.
I guess there's no way to know, because who would say yes or no to that?
I know.
Who can confirm?
Who can confirm? Can somebody from the dance space let us know if there's red pilly dance people?
Yes, please. But
Because
Jen needs to
women,
be
yes,
sad.
I know that there's red pill women dancers.
Yes, that's a whole different thing. But also, I think when somebody's art doesn't come from a place of empathy, you can see it in the
Yeah.
art. You can see it in the extension of the dancer.
Yeah.
In the same way that when I watch Frasier, which I've recently been watching, the laughs don't meet the eyes with Frasier the way they do with David Hyde Pierce.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So
He was the actual star of the show, right?
oh my God, he's so great on it. It's really, also the way it's written is so creepy. Like, because he's like lusting after Daphne, who works for his father, and like he's doing stuff that's too weird. But back in the 90s,
yeah.
it was just like good and normal. Like when on Friends, Phoebe tried to date her sister's stalker
Yeah.
and help him.
Yeah.
It was just, we didn't know about how many women were getting murdered by men doing these exact things. So it was just so funny. Or maybe we knew, we didn't care. I don't know.
And also Frasier's the therapist, right? On the show?
Frasier's a therapist, but Niles is also a therapist.
Oh.
And interestingly, my father is a therapist, but his siblings are also therapists too. We did not grow up in a house that looked like Frasier's or Niles's, so things may have really, really been embellished for TV.
Yeah, because I have friends whose parents were therapists, and they're like, it just regular house.
Yeah, it's kind of a regular house profession.
It's just a regular. I mean, like, yeah, I don't. Okay, anyway, what a segue. Okay, going back to this show. Okay, so then we got the Nick and Olandria runaway car.
The first time
car.
I felt a sexual tingle watching this show. Like, do you
Fanny flutter,
generally find this show like sexy.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. I've been saying this. I don't think that I ever want to kiss another person again because I'm afraid that that's what I look like also and sound like when I'm kissing a person.
Oh, but
Because
you don't kiss, like, tongue out. Like, every single challenge, they're coming in the widest tongue, the w like, widest tongue out. I just had coffee. I just had coffee. Patreon,
Patreon
do
exclusive.
not judge. Do not judge. I
Patreon.
just finished a cup of coffee with protein
It's
powder in it.
early morning.
It's
It's
early
early
morning.
morning.
I brushed my teeth. I just had coffee. But they're coming in with I can't do it again. I'm too
No, you
ashamed.
can't.
But, like, they're coming in my hand is my tongue. The widest tongue, and it's just, like, the tongue goes out. If you're, like, an old school Charmed fan, Alyssa Milano always used to screen kiss tongue first, and it's really something to see. If go back and watch Charmed, Alyssa Milano coming in tongue first every time on screen,
Which
and
is
that's
bold because I feel like TV kissing is never really
well,
on-screen
it's, like,
kissing isn't
not
it's like
professional to
no.
kiss like that with your tongue out. Like, it's gen on t like, if you're working with another actor,
Yeah.
but maybe they talked about it before, and she's like, "Listen, I do
This is
tongue
how we
out.
do it.
This is the character of Phoebe has to kiss tongue out first. She's a Love Island girly." But I think they are, like I think there's a lot of, like, when you kiss, you need to make it look, like, crazy. Like, I think they know they're kissing for cam.
It's just a
I'm sure
lot.
you're kissing nice.
I don't
Is
know. Am I even kissing? I've been married to my husband for too long. We don't kiss.
well,
Like, well, you're not making out. Like, also, I'm not making out with my husband like that. Like, occasionally, and then
sure, you're not gonna, like, go get a bunch of milk in your mouth, spit it into his face. That was so, so gross. Like, milk in general is so gross to me, and then the idea of ugh.
They did a
Uh,
hot dog challenge last season that was very similar, and it was just like, again, I'm no you. If I saw that, I would be like, you know what, the money's not worth it. $150,000. No,
no,
I gotta go.
I could work at a Starbucks for 2 years, thank you, instead. Like, I the, uh the food challenges are strange, and it's like, you could just do a whipped cream or something. Like, we all know about what foods are sexy. Like,
Yeah, milk.
milk's not on the list unless you're O'Sheen from Southern Hospitality, who should never be on TV again.
Oh God, no, it's terrible. And now your water bottle is white, and for people, they could have thought that that was
Could you imagine if I was like, "Milk's disgusting."
glug glug glug
Mm.
glug glug glug.
Patreon, only you know the truth. Only you can really confirm.
But like, yeah, it's I don't think that Love Island is a sexy show. I never think that any of it is sexy. But Nick and Alandria together, the chemistry, amazing, incredible. And then they ended up having that little kiss after that, like whatever kissing competition they had between the villa and the casa. And the way that man looked at that woman after kissing her, I was like, rawr.
Yeah. Even the kiss itself, I said, "Am I feeling a tingle downstairs watching Love Island?"
Are you getting a fanny flutter
I
watching Love
I got
Island?
I got quite a fanny flutter. I
Yeah.
really was like, "Oh, wow, this is exciting." I
Yeah.
Do you think that the contestants are playing the game to try to play last season's game, basically? Like, do you think Alandria and Nick actually could like each other and that they were both just like, "Yeah, but we're more likely to win if we, like, stick with our original people"?
That's a good question. I don't know why Alandria is sticking with Taylor. That is a mystery to me that I'll never understand. But I genuinely do think that Nick and Alandria both are they're so loyal to their bros.
Mhm.
Like that. I think Alandria the whole time is thinking, like, I just watched Sierra bend over into a 90-degree angle so that her makeup didn't get ruined because she keeps crying over you. Like, I can't. Landry's like, I love Sierra too much to like do
Yeah.
that to her, and I think that's the same thing with Nick. Like, I actually think that Nick is totally into Landria,
Yeah.
but I think that he knows the kind of friend Olandria is, and also I think that Nick knows that Olandria is the right person for Taylor, even if Taylor isn't like feeling it yet. And it's hard. I don't think Taylor is feeling it, you guys.
He's not. Because here's
Mm-mm.
the thing, Alandria is it. She
Yeah.
is the best, and Taylor knows he's not it.
Mhm.
And as for Landria liking Taylor, I've been there a lot of times.
Yeah.
So when a guy is so like neutral on you, if you are not loving yourself in that moment, you're like, this neutrality, like if I can fix this neutrality, this will fix the love I don't have for myself inside. So,
Yeah.
like, I understand why these women are bending over backwards for these men. They have no outside stimuli. All they do is talk about their relationships. They're in bikinis 24/7. Their asses must be so tired from touching things. Like, think about how much ass out they're doing and how much, like, ass on the AstroTurf they have to do, ass on this cushion that everybody else's ass has been on. It's just really, they're undergoing a mild form of psychological torture. And so,
It's I feel like a Stockholm syndrome situation at this point, for
mhm,
Olandra. It doesn't and I feel really bad for her because I think ultimately Taylor's also like Ranger Danger said, he's a coward.
he is a
He is not
coward.
actually telling her how he feels. Him being like, "No, I don't know." And guys do that shit where like rather than actually speaking up and being like, "I'm not really feeling this." They're like, "Oh, like, yeah, like we could just see.
We can
We could
just
just see.
see.
We
Did
could just
you
see."
okay, in not in last night's episode, but the night before when he sat Alandria down and talked to her, what did you think he was trying to say?
I think that he was basically trying to tell her like I know because I've now seen this man communicate with other women and also I've seen him tell the guys basically that he's really like the connection with Clark is unlike anything he ever had with Alandria. And I think the problem with I saw I think a TikToker say this, but Olandria is doing too much of the talking in those situations with Taylor. What she needs to do is like sit silently and listen to him and say like, "What do you want? Do you want this?" But he's not gonna.
He'll never. I thought he was saying because I still can't understand that men will just lie to you because they are afraid of the mildest form of anger from a woman.
Mhm.
I thought he was saying like I'm still interested in you. I still want to pursue you. So then when he like was acting all weird about right? I see your face. I really was like I took him at face value, which was so dumb. I then went on the internet and was like, "Oh, Amanda, you're dumb." Everybody
No, but the
else.
thing is, you are giving us Olandria's point of view because Olandria's point of view is like he's giving me crumbs, which I'm now gonna follow because this is what he's telling me. I'm literally just going by what he is telling me. And Olandria is really big on communication. Like, tell me
Mhm.
exactly what you feel. If you're not like even that conversation she had with Nick where she was like, he was like, "What are you thinking?" And she was like, "Why do I have to be the one to say it first? Why don't you just tell me what it is?" And he was like, I am thinking about our friends." And she was like, "Great, me too, same."
Mhm.
And I think that that's what Alandria expects is like, if I ask you a question and you tell me the answer, I'm going to take it for what you're telling me. I'm not going to play games with you. And I think that's unfortunately what's happening is Taylor is giving her these like little crumbs, these little morsels. And she keeps being like, this is the test and he'll come back to me and blah, blah, blah. And we've been through so much. Please pray tell what you've been through.
Also, in general, if you've been through so much, you don't maybe have to be together. People
No,
really seem to think like going through a lot means that you should keep going. And
no,
it's like, okay, but if you've been through so much, look at how much of that is like the two of you not being right for each other and
exactly.
assess whether or not you want to stay together. I
Well,
also
it's,
think Alandra
yeah,
doesn't have anybody else.
yeah,
So, like, it's not like, especially because she is so loyal, but
yeah.
also, like, look at her choices. What is she gonna do? Scoop Austin from Officer Great Interior Eyeliner? How does she do?
Amazing.
I
She looks like a deer.
I wanna know how she gets her eyeliner so on point in the inner corners, but that's not important. What's important is, like, Alandria doesn't have anyone, so also it's like, what is she supposed to do besides choose Taylor?
I know. I think it's like a sunken cost fallacy. It's like I've
Mhm.
poured so much into this person that like this is just it's like they say on Watch What Crappens, they always say this about the women in New Jersey. Their loyalty rides with whoever they came to the party with. Like I came with this person, so now I have to leave with this person. I joined the show with this person, so now I'm committed to them for the rest of time. And I feel like that's really the way Alandria is seeing it. I do wonder if Olandria sees herself and Taylor like Serena and Cordell, And I just want to hold her by the shoulders and say Cordell was still a dynamic person. He had a whole
Yeah.
personality. Taylor, I'm not sure about. And I think Landria is tied to this idea of like, I want a cowboy, I want a cowboy, I want a southern man. And I think that she feels like it's a sign that like the southern man came to her on this television show. And I want to be like, baby, that's casting.
Oh, yeah, that's just casting. And also, that's just where you're born. It's not who you are.
Exactly. Oh God. And
And here's
Jalen.
I
Jalen could have been here.
oh, Jalen gave me the fanny flutter. I'll tell
He
you
sure
that.
did.
Jalen was
He sure did.
he was a man. And
Yep.
he was, like, nice.
Yeah.
I just love a man who is nice to women.
He's a Dariana, yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Ah!
now that is worth saying I want a man from the South for, because
Yeah.
yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, that ooh,
Ooh.
whew, that's I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think, because I have a theory, I have, like, a strong feeling on this. Do you think having the women go to Casa Amor and the men stay in the Villar messed up the dynamic based on, like, the way heterosexual dating happens in America?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because again, the Villar was treated much like Casa.
Mhm.
So it's like it didn't really,
I feel like
typically.
the men should be coming to the women. Like, the
Yeah.
women should be in their spot where they feel, like,
Oh, I agree. Yeah, that's a good point.
secure, but, like, they shook it up too much.
Yeah.
Either have the women go to Casa or force a recoupling, I think.
Yeah, and I also feel like again, I have an issue with the season, the fact that we've not gotten a true recoupling.
Mhm.
I'm choosing to couple with this girl, this boy. Like we're getting a lot of games. The door game and then now this little like newlywed game version of this recoupling, which I was like, what is this? And then I was like, this is great.
I liked it. I did like it, and I liked that it was like, did anybody else have these 2 who picked somebody else? And you have to, like, step forward and be like, "I did." Like, you're,
I
like,
know.
the 3rd hand in somebody
Oh.
not picking. Woo!
Ooh.
I did like that.
It's
But
so
I
embarrassing.
felt like the guys in Casa, I never got anything out of them. I felt like I was looking, when you're watching an Instagram reel and you just see a bunch of cats and you're like, I can't tell the difference between all these cats. They just seem like they're like herding around looking for stuff. Like it just is like a little group of like
Mhm. Mhm.
animals moving around. And I was like, I don't know who's who. I don't care about any of these guys.
No, not at all. In fact, when they decided to save Elon and then Elon started crying and they were like, "Bro, you're my bro." You've known each other for 48 hours, sirs.
Yeah. You guys are
Everybody needs to
really
calm
forcing
down.
this. The people who were about to kill themselves because Nick left the villa, they are family. They've been together 3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Also, seeing Sierra and Nick reunite.
I got another Fanny tingle.
I believe in love.
Yeah. I want them to go all the way.
I think they might win the show. I think
I
it's
think
going to
so
end up being
too.
like them and then Shelly and Ace.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see
Because
that.
there's no other. I mean, the real wild card would be if we get the 3 couples at the end are Shelly and Ace, Nick and Sierra, and my girl Amaya Papaya and Zach Hay. 2 of the kookiest pair, those 2.
You know what? I kind of see it for them too, though. I really do. I think they're both hot but slightly interesting,
Yeah.
which really sets them apart this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like Huda and this new guy. Like, she seems to have like gotten her little feet back under her a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that people on the internet are like, Huda's so shady that she went and made out with Chris and then she told Shelly afterwards, or she like went and had a chat with Chris and then she told Shelly afterwards. When she told Shelly, like, hey, by the way, I'm going to probably try to couple up with Chris because I do really like him because JD's a weirdo and he told me that I'm doing too much. And I walked away from him instead of punching him across the face. And that's called growth. But when she told Shelly that, Shelly was so happy. She was like, oh, thank God. She's like, oh, thank God. I'm going to pick Ace.
Yeah,
Thank
like
God.
nobody. This is Love Island. The game is Love Island. Also, she went to Shelly and told her. So, like, she did learn from her
Mhm.
previous mistake where she didn't talk to Hannah.
Yeah.
Like, we have to let people learn from their mistakes and be better.
Yeah.
Like, I also, the internet's hatred for Huda is so weird to me.
It's so strange. I saw somebody post about like how Olandria has an Arabic tattoo on her shoulder.
Mhm.
And I've tried to read it because I can read Arabic. And I tried to read it and I was like, "Oh, I don't know who designed this for her, but it's written in a way that like Arabic is not written. It's written like individual Arabic letters, whereas when you write Arabic in a word in Arabic, it's written like cursive."
Mhm.
So, maybe that was the intention, maybe it wasn't, but somebody posted saying, I beg of you, if you're getting an Arabic tattoo, like make sure you talk to an Arab person before you get it. Like we've seen that similar sentiment about, Chinese or Japanese or like Asian script or anything like that, right? Or
Any
like
different
Hindi,
alphabet
any
from your
alphabet,
own
right?
language.
And somebody posted it, and then somebody's commented on it saying, "Your anti-blackness is showing. You Huda apologists are crazy." And I was like, everybody needs to just calm the fuck down. I love Alandria. I just talked about it for hours. The tattoo is a bad tattoo, but I don't know if that was intentional. And the
Mhm.
point is, it's not Alandria's language. And then somebody was like, "Well, Huda has Arabic tattoos." Yeah, and they make sense.
Yeah.
Also because I can read it and they say words, and I can read that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I don't know what's on a Landry's tattoo. And again, maybe it's by design. I don't know. Maybe it's intentional. But the point is that that's not how Arabic is supposed to be written. Right. And so, like, for somebody to say that and then people to get on that, you hood rats are crazy. I was like, that's nuts. Everybody needs to calm down. Huda is nuts. But like, I have like Kendrick, he's been watching Love Island for years. He said every season we get at least 2 or 3 Hudas. So this
Yeah.
is not crazy
And
behavior.
I just like I can't judge any of these people in these artificial dating situations because as a complete fucking psycho from age birth till 30, if you put me on one of these shows in an isolated situation, I would be as bad as them or worse. So like
Yeah.
I enjoy the entertainment. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't want to watch or I think it's bad, but like I think it's wild to hold these people to like behavioral standards that we would expect outside in the world.
1000%. It's just strange. I don't get it. I don't understand the hatred of Hura. Do I think that she treated Jeremiah poorly? She did.
Yeah.
She dropped those B words and those P words. And in the words of Nini, you better watch those B words before you end up in the ocean. Okay?
Where you all are going to have to go if Jax Taylor gets choppered in.
But like, I don't know. I'm like, I like the fact I do wish that apparently the internet seems to think that we didn't get to see as much of everybody else's connections because the first 2 weeks we spent so much time on Huda and Jeremiah. And I'm like, well, baby, you got to talk to production about that.
That is an editor's problem, but also what connections? I'm sorry. Have we seen stuff since then that's like so great and so interesting? It maybe we got too much of them because everybody else wasn't doing enough. Thank you, Phaedra Parks.
Yes, thank you. Shout out to Atlanta for really
Oh
like
God.
writing the script for this episode.
They write the script for my life.
Truly. One person we haven't talked about is Pepe because I think the show forgot he exists.
Well, because he was with Hannah and it was so great. I loved Hannah. What were your was your
I was fine on Hannah, and then she skyrocketed for me once I saw her spit on her hand and get that man. Look back at it, baby. Yes,
I love a little slutty slut. Like
I
I
love it.
relate. I
I
love
love
it.
it.
I love that she wants to be a doctor. I love her little like baby doll voice. Like I loved her.
I realized when she got kicked off and then she was crying hysterically again. I said she sounds like a child and she cries like a child.
She looks like a baby doll. And like what does it say about me that I love her? I can't get into that. I I only see my therapist every 3 weeks. So we can't get into
Okay.
it. But I'm so curious why they got rid of her and why don't they show that deliberation on camera?
Also, going back to has this show ever been sexy? The one time it was sexy, besides a few other times, is when Charlie told Hannah that she was such a brave girl. Ooh, girl.
That was
Wow, 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 wow.
mhm,
Yowza.
I was a fan of that as well.
That was amazing.
And I love every time Hannah parts from a man, they go, "I'll find you."
Yeah,
They
you
love her.
Hannah is doing something
Yeah.
for these men to be like, I will find you. I will leave
Because
this villa and I
if
will
you're willing
find
to
you.
spit on your hand on camera, you're a little freak in the sack. And I respect it. I respect it. I love it. That's what this show should be. It's just people that's what we're
That's
missing at Summer House also. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Emerald, poor
Yeah.
guy. Go
Thank you,
check out my
Emerald, for
interview.
trying to inject a little bit of sexuality. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What was it like to talk to him?
He's so hot.
Yeah.
It was great. He's really nice, and he's so I think that people should go subscribe to the Patreon for Bravo War Black because a lot of the episode had to be cut for the public listening because he like talked about a lot of like political stuff and world stuff. Like he's very very thoughtful. Like he talked about like just we were talking about the election and everything, and he was just talking about like talk about genocide. He was like, I was like, yeah, we can't talk. Kaya was like, we're gonna have to edit that out because her dad is not gonna allow that. But you can listen to it on the Patreon. But yeah, he's very thoughtful, and um, I'm gonna try to get him on my podcast because I was like, hey, you want to talk about sports and genocide? That's the place to be.
You're like, I actually have a perfect platform for this.
Yeah,
Come
yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah. Come on over. Come on over. Amaya Papaya sang a little song to herself while doing her skincare.
Oh my God. How did we fall in love with her? She's so lovely.
She yelled at Taylor.
Oh,
And then, you know what, Zach? Hey, you better calm down by telling her to calm down. I don't want to hear that again. You better
yeah.
not. You
You need
better
to
not.
lift her up.
Yeah.
You and your little bangs need to be lifting her up.
Those bangs. That haircut is so dumb. Pepe has the same haircut. And I was like, what is this?
It is a Love Island UK style haircut,
Oh.
in my opinion. And as someone who's never watched Love Island UK, but I
It
feel
just
like
feels
those
like it.
little bangs are
I know.
very, very across the pond.
Because those bangs are the bangs that as a girl from New Jersey, in the 2000s, you know, we would see Pauly D have his big hair and all that stuff. That hair is big and spiked because they have product in it. But when there's no product and they come out of the shower, it's those bangs.
It's little bangs.
Okay. That's what those bangs look like. Those bangs need some product and a lift. Again, from New Jersey, I just feel like it needs to be high up in the sky, close to God. But that's what those bangs are.
I would not survive seeing Zach K with Pauly D's hair. I would not. I don't want that to happen to me. But
And when you
yes,
say you wouldn't survive, tell me what would happen.
I just because I can't because I can't I think maybe like my body would go on, but my mind would be completely melted by because like I haven't seen anyone with Pauly D's hair other than Pauly D
Yeah.
in years. It's like my dog lunged at someone in rollerblades recently and she
Oh
was so
no.
mad and I was like, I'm so sorry, but also how the fuck could I know how he'd react around someone with rollerblades? He doesn't live in 1995. Like I didn't he's never seen it. I've never seen it. Like
So sorry.
I'm so sorry, but like it's not of this time. It would
He
be like
didn't
seeing
know.
a time portal in my living room. Like I would just be like, I can't go forward.
I'm sorry, my dog has never seen people with wheel feet.
Yeah, he doesn't like bikes.
Oh,
But like
okay.
how could I know that little bikes would also be
Small
such a
wheels.
problem?
He's an anti-wheel man.
Yeah, also
Oh.
he's a cocker spaniel. He's 13, he has no teeth. The lunge was not like
It's fine.
it was
What do I care?
irritating for her, but like
Yeah.
everybody was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Olandria did get saved at the end of this episode, and you know, I was a little irritated with Ace being like, "We need to keep Coco." Now, I will say this about Coco: Coco better be in the Villa next year. Rob was apparently a Casa Amor boy, and he was cast as main. I want to see Coco
Yeah.
on my TV for 4 weeks next year.
We deserve
She
a
is
full Coco arc. She's so gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. She seems funny. She seems very chill. She's amazing. I want to see more Coco next year. But Ace was trying to keep Coco for why? I don't know, but I didn't like it.
Here's something that I will say. I thought, let the mouse go. I thought, let's liberate Alandria from this filler. No one is respecting her. I'm
Yeah.
tired of seeing her be rejected by
True.
a man who does not seem to have the energy to, extend a hand. Like,
Yeah.
she said she was cold. Nick ripped his shirt off for her. And I was
Yeah.
like, if she told Taylor she was cold, he'd go, oh, that's,
He said he tried to make a joke saying maybe you're not well liked.
That was mean. That was a mean joke. If somebody said that to me, I would cry later.
I
In the
would
moment,
cry.
I'd go, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, maybe. And then I'd go to
And
the
then I would
shower and I would
Disney
sob.
Channel run up the stairs like Sierra and sob.
Sierra's run up the stairs. That was so relatable.
I
Girl, we
felt
all
that
been
in
there.
my bones. But, like, for him to say, "You're not well liked," and she still wrote him, like, "Alandria, get
That
her out of this villa, into a therapist's office, and then, like, onto the lap of the nicest, wealthiest, hottest man. She deserves somebody like" who's the Reddit guy who's married to Serena Williams?
I know who you're talking about, but we
He's
don't have to
he's
remember
very
his name.
successful in his own way. I
He's
don't wanna
Greek.
diminish him.
He has a Greek person's name.
Yes. And he's
I keep wanting
handsome.
to say it's like Atlas, but it's not.
I think it's Alex.
Oh, that close
So
enough.
very close. Very close. Alex, yes, and that is Greek. But she deserves somebody who, like,
Yes.
champions her because she
Yeah.
is with somebody right now who, like, puts her down. So I kinda thought, like, we need to get her out of this villa because, like, this is gonna beat up her spirit. Like,
And also because what is waiting for her when she comes into the real world is actually what I'm so excited for Olandria. Like,
yeah.
I am so excited to see her star power rise up. And this woman, like, I want to see her doing things with Meg the Stallion. I want to see her at front row at Cowboy Carter, and Beyonce pointed to her saying, and she's such a diva. Okay,
Mhm.
that's what I want to
I
see.
wanna see her hosting stuff. Like, I like her on TV.
She's
Like,
so
I
funny.
I
She's
would like to see her,
great.
like, have jobs hosting things. So, like, I was like, "Yeah, get Alandria out of here. These men are never going to appreciate her."
She's
And,
not
like
getting love in the villa.
and it's
No,
humiliating.
it
And
is.
it would be hurting my heart. I don't wanna put myself in her place. So I was like, she hasn't found a connection with anybody because she's stuck on, like, the worst guy, and when you're stuck on the worst guy, it's very hard to dislodge.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't have hated it if she'd go I like her, I don't want her to be gone, but I want her to be freed.
No, I know. I agree. I want her, like, I would have been sad if she left because of the friendships,
Mhm.
obviously. But I also, like, I mean, they saved Huda and they saved Nick. Is that who they saved? No. Who else have they saved? They've saved Huda twice.
They've saved Huda twice, and now Huda is acting right.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm happy for her. I hope that this man is tall enough s to I don't know if that will do something for her, but
Is
I hope
six
so.
is 6'8" maybe too tall?
It's pretty tall, and Huda is very small.
Huda seems like she's like my height, maybe
I think
younger,
she
maybe
might be
shorter.
smaller.
I think
I
she's
think
like
sh
5 foot. I think
yeah.
we had a little Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, to quote Raven, we're having a bit of a hoops and shack,
Yes, that's what
situation.
she is saying. It's a 100% hoops and track. Totally.
I love that I could quote Raven as though I've ever met her. I have the hardest, what is it, parasocial relationship with her.
She's so funny.
She's so funny. I'm talking to her podcast every time I'm listening.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
and I
never
love
met
that.
her. She does not know me, but
And
I know her.
I love that when we think hoops and Shaq, everybody, it's the same picture. We're all seeing the same picture in our head.
Well,
It's
I've
the
gone
exact same
through
picture.
and looked at a bunch of pictures. So I've actually seen them. I've seen
Multiple
them
settings.
really locked in. I think I'm sad I'm like sad that they broke up. 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
A long time ago.
decades ago.
Yeah.
And I hope that Huda and whatever this guy's name is, I can't just be learning these Casa guys'
No.
names.
Chris.
Chris is sexy. Maybe he can, because like Jeremiah also played a lot of games with Huda.
Mhm.
And it's like when you play games with, like, a cat and you're like, "This cat will never scratch me." And it's like, "No, the cat will scratch the shit out of you. Don't play
Yeah.
games with a cat."
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm excited to see where that goes. But I agree
Mhm.
with you that I think that Olandria just, like, people think that Olandria and Taylor, I think people in the villa, the women in the villa especially also, I think they're doing a similar thing with Olandria and Taylor that they kind of did with Huda and Jeremiah, right? Like when they coupled Jeremiah up with Iris, and Huda was crying. The girls said to her, I think that maybe you're not seeing something about Jeremiah that like we are not seeing something. Maybe he's talking shit about you. Maybe he's not being nice to you. Maybe he's so she was like, oh yeah, maybe he is a liar. Maybe he
Yeah.
is a pussy ass bitch. Like maybe he is all those things. And also the guys kept being like, Jeremiah is a fraud. So she was like, oh, all signs point to him being a bad person. But I think similarly with Alandria, I think that the girls are kind of like, no, like you and Taylor, like you guys are like the dream, like your mom and dad. And which for what it's worth, when they're together and they're like talking to the other girls or like talking to a person and giving great advice, I think people are like really gravitating towards that. But I think it's like, but that's because of Alandria.
Yeah, but also Taylor is more interested in the drama. I think
Yeah.
Taylor's a good friend. Like, I
Great
really
friend.
do.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is interested in being a good partner. I think he's there to like chop it up and like hear the gossip and be like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to let that go. Like, Taylor was a really good friend to Huda.
Yeah. And I think that when he got in that doorway and said, really?
Mm-hmm.
Again? Again?
That's attractive. I get why people are
Yeah.
attracted to Taylor, but like when Sierra was crying over Nick and Taylor had his little hand over his mouth, that's because he was laughing. Like
Yeah.
he's playing too much to be with a woman like Alandria.
Yeah. And I do wonder sometimes, like, if his whole thing with like Alandria is that like Alandria seems like a person, like she said off the jump, like, I'm not going to kiss you outside of challenges. I'm going to, like give you space and all that stuff. And here's Clark being like, I think you're so great and you're so fine and da 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 and all this stuff. And like, she's ready to kiss him and she's ready to give him like a lot more physical affection. And that's ultimately what Taylor is responding to, because I think that that's what he's looking for. And if Alandra is not the kind of person who does that, then maybe she's not the one for you. And Alandra Taylor's not the one for you. And that's okay.
And also, Love Island is not really a show for slow burns.
Yeah, like I feel like last year was an anomaly with Serena and Cordell. But again, Cordell looked at Serena with heart eye emojis every single day.
He wanted her to like him.
Yeah.
And Taylor just accepts that Alandria likes me, so I don't need to do anything there.
Exactly.
And I think he wants to keep her around in case things go sideways with
Clark.
With Clark. I love her name. I can't retain it every time. Clark.
Clark Clark A.
Clark the E. I like her. I just like it's these new people.
I know.
So like
know.
I think that like that's a tough. I think it's not a good idea to come on a show like Love Island where you are expected to kiss crotch first, and be like, I don't like to really kiss outside of challenges. Like,
yeah,
try.
Yeah. Oh, that's why Bella Dashe didn't last.
No, she learned real fast, and she was like, oh, I'll kiss outside of challenges, and they're like, too late.
Too late. Get out of here. Take your cold sore with you.
Yeah, she was like, I will leave that with Nick. Thank you.
I've left it behind. Oh, God. Free Alandria from the shackles of this villa and this man, and give her all of the amazing stuff that she's going to get outside of the villa. They're going to come out of the villa. It is going to be World War III, but Alandria, we wish you all of the success and love.
Yeah, you guys are going to be devastated at the state of the world, but like, Alandria, you might get like a really sweet job. So
yeah, she's an elevator salesperson, and I think that
if she still wants to do that after this, she can sell elevators anywhere in the world.
If that's your passion,
you're about to blow up in elevator sales.
Exactly, it's gonna take you right to the top. So stupid. Sorry, guys.
Perfect.
I'm on cold medication, so
I mean, you're also on a roll. So
well, Amanda, this is amazing. There's no one I'd rather be back in the villa with than you.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be in your car, sir.
It's so stupid. I love the show so much. I can't wait to watch on Sunday. I don't watch the After Suns. I can't.
No, God, we need a break.
I need a break. I need to watch Next Gen NYC. Okay.
It's really good this week.
Unfortunately, it's so good.
I didn't want to like it, and then I love it.
I love it. It's amazing. Guys, go follow Amanda at Amanda Hunt and Kiss. Also on Blue Sky. I only pop into Blue Sky to look at your stuff because you're always like, come on
Aw.
Blue Sky. I do need to be using it more. But
It's getting worse. Please, people, come to Blue Sky. It's so small over there.
it's getting worse.
It is. I feel like people are leaving and like I can't jump into threads. I'm trying so hard not to give Mark Zuckerberg more of my emotional time.
I know. Is he at the Bezos wedding?
I'm sure.
Probably.
I'm sure. I got an alert from People magazine on my phone, obviously, and it was like celebrities flocked to Jeff Bezos' wedding. And I was like, I think this is the day I stopped caring about celebrities.
Yeah. 100%. They've ruined celebrities.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jeff Bezos.
Lauren Sanchez.
Yeah. Get out of here. Anyway, guys, I'll be back next week to talk about the state of the world and with my brother, and then also the state of Bravo. And then we'll be back in the villa again. So I've now decided that I'm doing 3 episodes a week.
Look,
And I don't have a voice right now.